This is a video response to Noel Plum's social media shitstorms, a problem with no solution. And on his video, I left a comment at length where I flesh out that I don't feel like the solution that he proposes for himself to not interject just to have his opinion out there and only speak when he has something to add to the conversation, I don't feel like that would be a solution, because in this past week where I pointed out a different instance of JaclynGlenn's plagiarism in each of my videos, and even tried to add lessons about what plagiarism is so that other people can learn from this alongside different instances each time and adding to the conversation each time. You know, in retrospect, I don't feel like I was not part of a shitstorm. I feel like I was very much part of the shitstorm, you know? So, the dogpiling, the whatever. Yeah. And I feel like what she did was egregious enough to deserve people talking about it, you know? And to deserve her livelihood being taken away from her, much like any author might lose a publisher if they are found to be a plagiarist. She is the author of her YouTube videos. And so I feel like she steals the money of her Patreon patrons who are paying for original content and getting rehashed work from other people without citation. So, yeah, I feel like in this case it was somewhat deserving. And even more so, I don't even feel like she's going to feel ramifications for it because of the medium we're on, it being, you know, social media rather than actual published by, you know, corporations' work, where, you know, this kind of a scandal would ruin someone. So in the beginning of Noel's video, I do feel like he was dancing around a concept that's kind of old as dirt, and he doesn't really pinpoint what he's trying to say. And this is a quote from Voltaire, okay? "No snowflake in an avalanche ever feels responsible." And I feel like that's pretty much what he's trying to say, is nobody who's part of this individually feels responsible for the aggregate that is going to land on her desk, in her inbox. You know, all of that stuff is something that she alone is going to be able to gauge how much she feels of. And I would say that a good example of what could happen outside of other social media things like bloggers, like Rebecca Watson with Elevator Gate, or like with Anita Sarkeesian with the Gamergate. I feel like another good real-life example is "No Snowflake in an Avalanche" by Mikey Weinstein. And Mikey Weinstein's a Jew, and he has started his Military Religious Freedom Foundation a long time ago, and he's been railing against the United States Air Force Academy for a very long time to make things better for people who are not Christian. If you guys don't know the geography of this, right across the street from the United States Air Force Academy is Focus on the Family. Just right across I-25. Go Google it. It's in Colorado Springs. It's like the effect of these mega churches being so close to the Air Force Academy is that the instructors themselves have become members of those mega churches, and they proselytize to people within the academy. So it's very hard on people who are of other religions to not speak up and become a problem in the eyes of the Air Force. So here's my signed copy of it. Met the guy a couple times. You can see videos of him on my channel. What happened to Mikey Weinstein would be a harrowing tale of where we don't want to go with, say, all of this exposing of plagiarism. What do we want to do with it? Well, we would hope that some ramifications would come, but we don't want to see people's pets killed and left on their doorstep. We don't want to see people calling up Jaclyn's family and saying, hey, did you know she's a plagiarist? No, we don't want to see any kind of harassment like that. But, as it stands, I don't see much of a ramification happening to her at all. It's just, it is what it is. So I'm going to try to answer Noel Plum's question in his title, A Problem with No Solution, and tell you guys what has made me not want to continue being part of the shitstorm from this point on. Although I was happily pointing out each instance of plagiarism as I found it, I stopped because of futility. Not feeling that the shitstorm will make any difference, and feeling that her channel is too big to fail because of the medium that she's on. I'll link to her Socialblade statistics, and right now, as I'm making this video, when this scandal started off, it was, say, September 28th, and she had 360,573 subscribers. Today is October 6th, a week later, and she has 361,000 subscribers. So she has more than when this kicked off. She has healed from the slight losses that she had within a week. It's over. Poof. And her channel will just probably continue to grow, with that being the only little road bump. It's not like the Black Plague where it halved the population of humanity, and you can see like the population of the Earth chart have that little thing in the graph, that little slope, and you can say, hey, that was like no, this is barely noticeable for her. And yeah, there were other ramifications that were a little bit harsher, like if you were to look at her Patreon, you would see that she's lost 4% of the money that people are giving her over the month. So, and you can see on that graph where it starts around the 20th of September that, a couple people stopped giving her money. 4%. And in all likelihood, that will rebound as well, because she's too big to fail. So futility is one of the things that's going to make me not really want to continue. What is it even going to affect? She is kind of bulletproof with the size of channel that she has, and the kind of damage control that other large channels can help her do by saying, oh, well, that was in the past. Oh, well, we forgive her. Oh, well, she's made an apology, without even really going in depth as to what went wrong here. Another thing that's going to make me not want to continue. Thing 2. The rabbit hole that I went down led to crazier things than I expected, namely YouTubers that closed their channel that was about atheism being plagiarized, and me not wanting to point out that plagiarism because that person left YouTube, or left talking about atheism, at least on YouTube, because they did not want to talk about atheism anymore or be associated with it. And I didn't feel like this would be an appropriate thing to do, to make one more instance with this person. Also, hold on to your seats for this one. You can actually find evidence of people plagiarizing JaclynGlenn. It's out there, especially when people make lists of 10 things about this, 5 things about that, 7 things about this, and they're all talking about the same topics. It's all you look at all of them, and you want to look for like a Q manuscript where they're all kind of plagiarizing from that one source, but JaclynGlenn did it before the other people did, and it's just it's a quagmire when people keep talking about these things, and you can see that they're all borrowing from each other. Third thing that will make me stop talking about this is seeing battle lines being drawn between cliques, namely the more liberal social justice warrior, atheism pluser types versus the anti-theist types that are purist. And let's say I've seen people even in inciting this scandal not want to talk about certain people who have revealed more about this scandal. It's like not wanting to cite sources, not because you want to plagiarize, but because you don't want to give that other person any more fame. You know, you don't want to talk about that other person. And there are some names here that are polarizing. Hemant Mehta, Atheism is Unstoppable, Dusty Smith, the Cult of Dusty. All of those, you know, just seeing how there are rifts within the community at large just makes me depressed. Especially 3 posts on Facebook by Dusty Smith in particular, where he is characterizing Hemant Mehta's blogs as hit pieces, where you know, he doesn't say that they're plagiarism exposés. No, he characterizes them as hit pieces, and it looks a lot like high school bullying techniques where you know, damage control for someone's popularity must be done, and so, you know, we don't want to lose this person from our clique, so we're going to have to say that anyone who's talking bad about them, even with reason, is just a hater. You know, it's just it's PR management is what it is. You guys can go down Dusty Smith's Facebook and find that yourself, but also, you know, Atheism is Unstoppable's kind of polarizing right now to a lot of people, and he's been talking about it, and people don't want to even acknowledge that maybe he is onto something or is adding to this shitstorm. He's just his own thing, right? Me. People don't want to add me to, you know, the lineage of things coming out because I'm polarizing, apparently. But yeah, it's seeing these cliques get exposed. Those who have a bias towards just siding with JaclynGlenn and saying that everyone else is just trying to find something where nothing is there. I've heard that before. Yeah, it's going to make me not want to continue. And the fourth solution to this shitstorm is having other things to talk about and wanting to be known for more than just exposing people and ponage and whatnot. That's what's going to get me to move on. So hopefully that was a good enough answer to the question, is this a problem with no solution? Those were my solutions. They work for me.